shared a tutorial a couple weeks ago using the Profusion Sienna's palette, and today we're moving on to the Profusion Pro Pigment palette, which is full of pink and purple rosy tones. These are $10 palettes. You can find them at Target and on the Profusion website. They're limited edition for summer, but I think Profusion has said sometimes they'll make certain items permanent if they turn out to be very popular, so I'm not sure exactly how long these will be around. I think I've gathered a kind of excessive amount of new eyeshadows recently. I'm not sure why, but most things have been really affordable, or I've gotten things at a good sale price, so I just need to do some tutorials and play with all these eyeshadows. Anyways, let's get started with the tutorial. I've already got some Milani eyeshadow primer on, and here's the palette we're working with today, the Profusion Pro Pigment palette. So I'm going to start with the shade Go Girl, putting this all over my eyelid. This is a Real Techniques Instapop crease brush. Comes in a set of two, this is the smaller one. And just pushing that up into my crease a little bit. The shape of this brush is really nice for that. Next shade I'm going to use is Jive, right here, this really bright pink, on a Wet n Wild tapered blending brush, and I'm trying to be really small with these movements. So putting this right in my crease so you can actually differentiate all the colors. Sometimes when I start with the transition color, I end up covering it all up, so I'm trying to do a gradient sort of effect here. Using a lot of mattes today. Moving on to Disco right here, and this is an Essence Smoky Eye brush. I just randomly stumbled upon this in Ulta a little while ago. It was only a couple bucks and it's just a nice small size, and I just want this right on the edge of that bright pink we just used, Jive. I'm bringing this up pretty high just because I'm running out of room. I think I tried to be careful, but I think I might have brought Jive a little too high. Using the Wet n Wild single in Brûlée and a BH Cosmetics 132 brush, kind of this long pencil brush. It's gonna go under my eyebrow to kind of soften the edge of Disco, blend it down a little bit. Softening all these edges. I wiped off that Real Techniques Instapop brush from before, and I'm going to use a little bit of e.l.f. glitter primer. Going for a spotlight effect, so really just keeping this in the center of my eyelid. I'm trying not to bring it too far above the crease. And then going over that with the shade Queen. This is a Sonia Kashuk 106 brush. This is a very high maintenance brush day. Some days I can do an entire eye look with 2 brushes. For this look I've already used 5, but I wanted something clean that didn't have the glue all over it. And sticking with that Sonia Kashuk 106 brush and the first color we used all over the lid, Go Girl, just tapping over the edges to make sure that's blended. Sometimes it can be hard to blend over things where you've used a glue, but trying my best. Moving on to some face products, I'm taking the Wet n Wild Photofocus Concealer in light, what is this? You think I'd know by now, light ivory. Under my eyes. And blending that out with a BH Cosmetics 115 brush. I don't know why I'm so backwards with some of my steps sometimes. I probably should have done this first. This is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer. Maybe half a pump of that and smooth it over my most porous areas. I put a little bit of the Wet n Wild concealer on the back of my hand, and I'm going to spot conceal with this. This is a BH Cosmetics 106 brush. I don't know why I'm using so many BH Cosmetics brushes today. this powder is new to me. This is the NYX HD Finishing Powder in Banana. So it's a very pale yellow. Normally I don't go for banana shades because they're very dark, but I'd heard some good things about this. So let me use this under my eyes on an e.l.f. blush brush. And then to set the rest of my face, this is the same powder as the last video, the Wet n Wild Photofocus powder in Warm Light on a Real Techniques blush brush. I probably could have tried to use the NYX powder, but because it doesn't really come off that yellow. But I'll just go with this again. This way all of the powders I'm going to use next can blend on top of my skin since I'm not using foundation. I want to go for some insane highlighter today since we've got these crazy pink eyes, and I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dream Glow Kit. This thing is intense and glittery and a lot of fun. So I think I'm going to go with Ethereal here. Applying this to my cheekbones with the Milani All Over Blending Brush. This is a newer brush to me. I think on the package it says it's like specifically for highlighter. If this looks ridiculous, it's okay. I know. I'm doing this on purpose. For highlighting the rest of my face, I'm going to use a not so glittery highlighter. This is the Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighting powder in Blossom Glow. Using the same brush, just bringing this on my temples, above my eyebrow. I kept my skin pretty matte because I knew I wanted to use crazy highlighters today. For blush, I want something pretty neutral, so I'm going to go with Milani's Romantic Rose blush. Applying this with a Wet n Wild brush. It's obviously a brush. Blush brush. This is from their Pro line of brushes. And now I'll finish off the eyeshadow. Back to the Pro Pigment palette on this little tiny Wet n Wild smudger brush, going back in with Go Girl, pressing that right along the lower lashes, all the way into the inner corner. And then going back in with Disco one more time on that Essence Smoky Eyes brush to just soften that edge. For one last little pop, I want to use this Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit shadow. This is from the Gothographic collection. This is in Goth Tears. Just going to tap a little bit of this right on my tear duct. Blend it out with this BH Cosmetics 132 brush. It's basically a liquid shadow version of the shade we used in the center of the lid right here. I'll apply some mascara and that's it for the eyes, and just like my last video and probably for upcoming videos, since these are the only two mascaras I'm using right now, this is the Essence Lash Princess Sculpted Volume and the Wet n Wild MegaSlim Skinny Mascara. I'm in the mood for a bold lip color, so I'm going to fill in my lips with this NYX Blackberry. No, this is not it. This is an eyeliner. Let's get a lip liner. Alright, here's the lip liner. They're very similar in color, both dark purples, but this is the NYX Slide On Lip Liner in Revamp, and then on top I'm going to put on some Urban Decay Special Effects Top Coat in Monarchy. And here's the completed look. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. That was fun to create. I feel like I've been doing a lot of more simple and minimal makeup in life lately, so definitely fun to play with some color and glitter and all of that. And I think except for the Urban Decay lip product. This was all drug... No, never mind. The highlighters were not drugstore either, but mostly drugstore products, so that's fun too. But thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video.